So, welcome, by the way. On the heels of yet another Silent Stage series we just finished yesterday, let's talk about e-kits, electronic kits. There's a lot of people who have chimed in over the idea of playing an electronic drum set. Tell me in the comments what brands that you are using these days. I mean, obviously, I know Roland is probably at the top of that list. Yamaha makes some really cool stuff. Alesis, that Strike Pro stuff, isn't too bad. I'm a drummer myself. I'm not necessarily against owning an e-drum kit. I just could never see myself playing in a live music performance kind of setup. I could see it at a rehearsal space or something like that, or even a rehearsal tool, using it as a rehearsal tool. But as a sound guy, the thing that bugs me the most is having to mix the entire kit off of like one send. Kick, snare, tom, cymbals, all coming at you in one send. Now, I'm pretty good at frequency carving each individual thing out and making it doable. Just did that here recently, like 3 days ago, with a guy that was playing an E-kit. But at the very least, I would like to get kick, snare, and then the rest of the kit. Even if I got kick, snare, toms, and cymbals in 4 channels, that would be super cool. So the question, it's a 2-part question. So what brands are you most favoring these days of e-kits? What do you like? And then the second part of the question is how are you sending that e-kit to your front of house engineer, to your sound guy? How is he mixing? Are you just giving him one line and just letting it be whatever it is? Or are you giving him individual outs? I know one guy that does an individual out for every single piece of the kit. That's cool too, because it's just like having an acoustic kit. I already have those channels mapped out in my start scene, so it's not like it's a big deal or anything. But I could easily get by with just kick, snare, toms, and cymbals if the toms have been leveled out correctly in their volume. Because sometimes when I do that, I'll get like high toms will be louder than the floor toms, or vice versa. So that's something that the drummer has to do on his own to get those things leveled out, and giving the sound guy a fighting chance to really make those things work the best they can work, because we're seeing more and more of that kind of stuff. I don't really have a dog in the fight most of the time because I barely play out anymore. When I do, I use an acoustic kit and I just try to pull back as best I can and play to the room. But, we're seeing a lot of electric kits these days. So how's that working out in your world? Hit me in the comments.